You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 508 for Sunday the 23rd of June 2024.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello and welcome to this week's show, Janie.
Hello there, Michelle. How are we doing?
We are well. I have got so much information about Disney, and I know you have too, this week. Oh my word, so much happening. It's coming to the summer. Lots of people are planning trips. Things are getting a bit cray-cray.
Yeah, it's all a bit wild at the moment, isn't it?
Shall we start with some history?
Go on then, we'll start nice and calm, shall we?
We shall. 23rd of June, 1938. Let's have a little bit of Walt Disney history today. He received an honorary degree from Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and he quoted to have said, "Get me right, boys, I'm grateful for these honorary degrees and the distinction they confer. But I'll always wish I had the chance to go through college in the regular way and earn a plain Bachelor of Arts like the thousands of kids nobody ever heard of who have been graduated today." A Walt Disney Press statement. Hopping along a few years to 1956, Disneyland's Skyway to Fantasyland and Skyway to Tomorrowland began transporting guests across the park. 1944, Disney's 32nd animated film, The Lion King, is generally released in the USA theatres. And I'm sure we've all seen it.
I think so.
Seen it, loved it, cried over it. Go and see the show at Animal Kingdom every trip.
Yeah, definitely.
So we mentioned a action-packed show. Well, we have that indeed. But let's bring it back to us ladies just to start with, and we are both planning our Disney travels this year. So Jane, a moment or two of your time. What's news with your cruise planning?
Well, currently, as we record, I'm at 72 days out, so it's always nice to have a double digit, isn't it? And actually, this week on the 18th of June, it meant that the opening window for Molly and Dan and Ethan to book anything that they would like to book opened up. So it was a little bit of like having to think about port excursions and the like. So we have 4 out of the 5 of us have all booked length of cruise spa access. That's Simon and I did that last year and we really enjoyed that. We do like our fitness and everything, so to be able to go and have saunas and hot tubs, etc. was really nice for us. So we've opted to do that again this year. We have booked just one port excursion. We're just going to go, there's a little trip into Bruges from Zeebrugge, because Zeebrugge's not the best of ports, is it? It's a little bit stuck out there on the edge of ye old Belgium. So to get a nice little 4 or 5 hours into Bruges, we did this last year again, so we know exactly what to expect. So that's going to be a nice one. We've also been talking about our plans for getting into when we get to Amsterdam. Luckily, Amsterdam is very walkable, so we should be able to get off the boat and have a meander and probably go and see some art, I would imagine. Probably have a stroop waffle, that kind of thing.
It's the law.
It's the law. And then we have 2 days in Hamburg, and one of those days Simon has been invited to go to a retro gaming museum, and they're going to open the museum especially for him. So we have that to look forward to. But I also managed to snag a dining reservation.
Ooh.
Which I've not even told you about yet, have I?
No.
And this might be a little hack. I don't know whether I've come across something. Simon and I decided that we wanted to go to Paolo Brunch. I have been trying to book Simon and I onto Paolo Brunch since our booking window opened with being silver Castaway Key members. And no luck. Every time I tried, no, not available, no, not available, no, not available. So I was sat there yesterday, as you do, and I tried again. And no, not available. And I thought, I wonder if I try and book for all 5 of us, whether or not I would get it. So I clicked all 5 of us, and hey presto, we have a Paolo booking.
And they wouldn't give you it for 2?
No, so I can only presume that all the tables for 2 were taken.
Ah.
So a larger party, because there's 5 of us, because I'm not very familiar. I now need to go away and do my proper research. But I think it's like booths and that type of thing.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm assuming, therefore, that they wouldn't want to give a booth to just two people. They would rather it go to a larger party. So that's the only way or the reason that I think that I managed to secure that brunch booking. So that might be a little heads up for anybody out there that if you know other people that are going, maybe you could club together and book a large table. If you just as a solo traveller or as a couple, it might be a worthwhile investigation. I don't know. But yeah, trying to get a table for two, wasn't having any of it. The minute I clicked all five of us, hey presto, it's booked.
Well, I know you're taking your secret eating machine with you, aka Ethan, and he is so going to get his money's worth.
Oh yeah, definitely. And because this is something that obviously Simon and I were wanting to do as a special treat for us, and therefore we weren't expecting the younger members of our party to either A, be interested or want to shell out their money for it. So it was never going to be an option for them. It just how it was. We have now turned around. They don't know this yet.
Okay, let's hope they're not listening.
There won't be. Who wants to listen to Mum Rabbit on? Yeah, no, we are going to treat them to it. So, yay.
Aww. And we will talk more about what you've got to order at Paolo Brunch at a later time because it is all you care to enjoy, and I think Ethan needs to take one for the team.
And have everything.
Absolutely, 100%. Anything else going on with the cruise booking?
No, that's it. We're all done. Our next thing really now is to look forward to is online check-in. I have got Molly and Dan visiting this weekend, so there may be some chatter around about the cruise. And obviously, if anybody then decides they want to do anything else, we'll get those added on if we can do. But as none of us are drinkers, obviously a lot of the onboard activities aren't really floating our boat, so to speak. So I think we're happy now that we've got the spa, happy now that I've got Paolo. We've got those ports things sorted that we want to get sorted. So yeah, it's now just gearing up and a bit of wardrobe shopping, because you've got to have new clothes when you go on holiday, haven't you? It is the law. So that's the next thing for me, buying a few newbie bits. But you've got your vacay before me.
I have indeed, and the countdown is getting progressively smaller. And Carol and I, we had recorded a special Patreon show going through in a little bit more detail with regards to the trip that we're having. Brief summary, we're going to have some time at Pop Century, and we have booked some very exciting things. But I also have a super cool hack to share with people as well. We have booked tickets to go to see Cirque du Soleil's amazing Drawn to Life at Disney Springs, and that's a big thing. Having seen the Love Beatles one when we were in Las Vegas the other year, I just knew I had to get this as a special treat. So we've got that to look forward to.
Nice.
But the biggie is we are going to do the up close rhino experience.
Ooh.
This is my hack. I went to ring Disney at the 60-day limit to be able to book this, and I rang the UK number, as UK guests can do. And the call went a bit like this. I'd like to book this reservation, please. Sorry, the computer says no. What do you mean the computer says no? Well, we're not able to book those experiences for you from the UK. You have to make the reservation once you get to your hotel, and the concierge service will do it for you. At this point, I was a tad angry.
That's not fair.
No, it's not. It's discrimination against the British guest who bring in a lot of money, particularly mid to late August, because that is when the British invasion happens.
Absolutely.
And I know from doing this in previous years, this is a tour that sells out in advance. So there was no way on my first day of my holiday going to concierge and asking for it, because it'll have been booked up 50 odd days before. So I was really angry. I said, well, how can I do this? She said, well, you could ring Disney America and speak to them. So I said, okay, give me the phone number then, please. Oh, I don't have it.
What?
Hang on a minute. You are Disney, but you don't have the USA number to help guests like me. And it's like, we know it's part of the Disney keys to never say no to a guest.
Yeah.
They said no.
Ooh.
And I gave some very bad feedback, because you get and hang on the line to give your feedback. My feedback was a cast member said no. And I thought they couldn't do that. I didn't think it was a really difficult thing to do, to give me the telephone number of Disney in the USA.
Definitely not.
So I tried ringing. I couldn't get through. So my super big hack is go to the Disney Experience and go on the chat. And I spoke to a lovely, lovely young lady called Mona Rose. And I explained the situation, and she looked for my first day, and she said, I'm really sorry, it's all booked up. And she looked for 7 consecutive days, and they were all booked up. Bearing in mind, this is mid-August now. It's not like I'd just arrived and I wanted to book it for the next day. This is 60 days out. She managed to find us a reservation for the 24th of August. And she said, quick, I'm going to snag that for you now. She took my money, I got the reservation number, and she was absolutely amazing. Really, really helpful. So if you need anything and you are from the UK, go on the chat. They will do it for you. Don't waste your time ringing the UK, because I was really, really quite angry about that.
But this is like, in this day and age, Michelle, why aren't these things available to book online? I don't understand why it has to be a phone call.
I know.
At the end of the day.
I know.
And then to penalise people because you're not in the US. I mean, I get annoyed as it is when you get an email going, oh, enter this competition. Well, I can't because I'm not in the US. So why have you sent me that email?
Yeah.
Instagram feed, enter this competition, blah, blah, blah. I can't. I'm in the UK. Why should a visitor from a non-US country have any lesser service than a US resident? I don't understand.
And we've spoken about this before in past shows. So this then links to the next thing. I see on social media that Everything Pop Food Court is having a refurb this summer.
I know, it's like the whole food court is being refurbed.
The food court is being refurbed. Did we get an email to our booking email address? No. We found out via social media that starting July the 29th, the food court dining area will be closed through September 29th, 2024. Food will still be served through mobile order only, and seating will be limited. Guests can take food either back to their rooms, or they can walk over to Disney's Art of Animation, or to take the Skyliner to Disney's Caribbean Beach to enjoy their dining quick service. Also, I believe the shop is going to be impacted. I don't quite know all of the details. I did go back on the nice little chat, and the cast member did say to me that there is the ability to have some access to the shop. It just sort of like annoyed me again that we didn't get that confirmation. I had to contact them. Now, if you have a refillable mug, I was thinking, well, if I'm only able to do mobile order, how do I get my refillable mug? But there will be still access to the beverage station, and there's a second machine by the Petals Pool Bar. They are also supposedly doing this refurb at Art of Animation, but I believe it's not due to start now till the end of August.
You would like to think they wouldn't have one without those two particular resorts overlapping, because it is kind of a given, isn't it, that the people tend to swap and change between the two. I mean, I suppose there's no good time of the year to do it, but like you say, this is the height of summer. It's a bit of a peculiar time to take it down for what, just over a month?
Well, put it this way, Jane. What does it tell you about how busy Walt Disney World is going to be?
Perhaps there's that to read into it as well, Michelle. Yeah, quite.
Yeah. So, anyway. Also found out on social media that those lucky DVC members are having a Welcome Home Week event through July 22nd through August 24th. There's going to be special events, tasty treats, exciting experiences, just for the eligible DVC members. And there's all sorts of things going up with like character close-ups, ability to get Mickey Bar ice creams, So if you are a DVC member, please let us know. And I do gather you've got a one-time use 20% discount on a mobile order.
Okay.
And this is across Walt Disney World, Disneyland and Aulani Resort, and I believe also over at Hilton Head Resort as well.
Oh, so it's nice, for DVC members to get a little bit of special treatment.
Yeah, like the 2 lounges they've got in Epcot and the shooting gallery, which is now going to be another DVC lounge.
Should we gloss over that?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, a lot of people not very happy about that. I gather there's some news about Haunted Mansion, Jane.
Yeah, so they've started to release stuff about Halloween over at Disneyland. So Haunted Mansion, as we know, is currently down at the moment. Mm-hmm. The queue area mainly, I think, is being refurbed. And I think we knew that when it was reopening, it wouldn't be reopening as just the Haunted Mansion. It would be the Haunted Mansion Holiday overlay. So the announcement is that due to the attraction's queue refurbishments that are being in progress, Haunted Mansion Holiday will only be offered via virtual queue at Disneyland Park when it reopens. So does that mean that they're not expecting the queue area to be refurbed completely by the time they want to open this for Halloween?
Ooh.
Am I reading that correctly, do you think?
Well, do you know what? We'll only find out when it happens. But another virtual queue operation in Disneyland. Selling off lightning lanes, no doubt.
Yeah, it's, again, this is my biggest bugbear, I think, with Disney at the moment. They seem to be on a cash grab no matter which way they want to play it. And, they want us all stuck to our phones and not actually engaging with the wonderful surroundings of these amazing, immersive, delightful theme parks.
Anyway, we shall find out more. I will be seeing what happens because, fingers crossed, touch wood, I may be getting the opportunity to pop into Disneyland this coming Christmas. So we will see. Fantasmic,
dun, dun, yes.
There's been a change to the Fantasmic dining package. So, up to the 28th of August, you will be able to have an entree, an appetizer or dessert, or one full buffet.
Yes.
As well as a non-alcoholic beverage. And then you get the bonus of your guaranteed seating at the show in the reserved area. Correct. And for a lot of people, it's a must-do to save them having to really camp out an hour and a half before the show.
Yes.
Starting on August 29th, it's been changed. If you want an appetizer, you can have one, but it's not part of the package, so you have to pay out of pocket for it. So in replacement, it's going to be an alcoholic beverage for guests 21 and older. Now for me and Jane, we don't drink. This is not a bonus for us because I'll be able to have a main, I'll be able to have a dessert, and then a drink I won't be drinking. So I might be, if I was planning on doing this, lucky person on the next door table, here's a glass of wine, love, enjoy. Because it's free, it's included in the package, so I'm going to be ordering it.
Well, this is it, isn't it? This now means that the only way you're going to get bang for your buck is to order that alcoholic beverage, whether you want it or not. I have to say as well, as somebody who tries their hardest to follow a low-carb keto lifestyle, a dessert may not be the ideal option for me.
True.
So I'm now getting penalised because I'm not a big sweet fan. So therefore, if I want the appetizer, I'm going to have to pay for it. But then I don't want the dessert. I don't understand why that had to change.
I've picked the Hollywood Brown Derby to have a look at, to do some comparison. I always like to crunch my numbers. All of the packages have increased by $6.
Yes.
All of them. The only thing that has not changed is the child prices. They have remained the same.
Good.
So, okay. Hollywood Brown Derby was $77, children at $31. It's now gone up for the adult to $83. So does it make financial sense? Well, if you order the most expensive entree on the menu, which is the filet mignon at $49, and then you order a dessert for $14 and a glass of wine at $16, you will be paying $79 for that experience. So technically, when you look at it, if you're paying $83, you're only paying $4 for that seat you are getting at Fantasmic. But also bear in mind, you've got tax and tip on top of that.
Yeah.
So, if you go down the route, though, of maybe not being as not ordering by the finances, shall we say, and you order the cheapest thing on the menu, which is their Cobb salad, $25, a dessert and an alcoholic beverage, that comes to $55. And then that there means you are paying almost $30 over for your table. So these things can work out in your favour if you order the most expensive thing on the menu. And as much as I would probably love the famous Cobb salad, I wouldn't be booking a package and paying out $80 when I can just go to the lounge and get it for $25.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be the issue now, isn't it? I mean, obviously you are paying at this point more for the service aspect of being able to have that reserved seating than you are for the food itself. I don't know about you, Michelle, but I don't want to be in a situation where I feel obliged to eat something or order something just because it's got a particular price tag on it, because I want to be able to order something that I actually want to eat. Do you know what I mean?
True. Did you look at one of the other options on the list?
Well, Sci-Fi Dining, that's the cheapest option. So that's now going to be $57. Like you said, Charles, the kiddie prices are staying the same. And I can get it to about 56. But again, it's having to go through and pick the most expensive things on their menu. Interestingly, it's the pesto penne pasta with shrimp at $30. I don't do pasta, so, just going to say that out there. The dessert is caramel brownie cheesecake at $10. So that's taken us up to 40. And then I'm going to have to go through and look at the alcohol. And it's going to have to be a cocktail. And I think, actually, I can get it to exactly 57 by either having the margarita or the orbiting Oreos. And they both are $17. So I'm going to have to go for a hard liquor option as well to get that bang for my buck. But like you say, it's like I'm not quite sure whether they're the options I actually want to eat. Well, I know for definite the main course, with it being pasta, I wouldn't be interested in. I'd probably wanting something more like the barbecue burger at 25, or perhaps even the grilled chicken salad, but that's only $19. Yeah. I've kind of almost halved what I was paying originally for the penne pasta shrimp. So, yeah, it makes it a real difficult one. And I would urge anybody to just do their research and just ask yourselves, is the extra that you're going to pay enough to warrant going? Because, the bonus of this has got to be getting that preferred seating. If you're wanting that desperately, then perhaps this is an option. But it's going to come down to how much that is an issue for you to get that preferred seating, or are you just going to go, well, no, I'll eat where I want, when I want, and be prepared to get to Fantasmic within a good amount of time to grab those decent seats.
Last thing I want to mention is if you are taking a child of 11 or above, they're paying the adult price. So that's a lot of money. So particularly thinking of the entrees that are available at Hollywood Brown Derby, and you've got an 11-year-old, would they really want to be eating a lamb shank or pan-roasted halibut, or having a dessert of a grapefruit cake or a creme brulee, when they would probably have preferred something, more like a creamy tomato soup to start with, and then perhaps a really good quality burger. So, yeah, it's all about do the maths, decide if this works for you. And I do have some friends that have booked they are going to Hollywood Brown Derby. To them, it still makes an amazing deal, and I'm really happy they will be able to have it. I just think it's just this little dollar here and there, taking it all back and making people like us that look at the financial side of things getting a little bit,
yeah. Tricky one.
It is indeed. But, this is why we say to people, when you are doing something as expensive as a Walt Disney World trip or a Disneyland, whether Paris, whether California, or even going to the Far East parks, you have to do your research. You can't just turn up and think, what am I going to eat for lunch today? You need to know your options in advance, and hopefully podcasts like ours and vlogs and blogs and things help you make your informed decision to get the absolute best out of your holiday. And I think that's what our ethos is here. If we think something's a rip-off, we will tell you. But also,
Absolutely.
What's rip-off for Jane might not be rip-off for me.
Yeah, and say everybody's got their own limits as to what they're prepared to pay, and I think you have to look at your own circumstances, relate it back to whether it's food options or experience options that you're wanting to achieve, and just ask yourself whether you think it's good value for what you personally want to do. Michelle and I are going to have our own opinions, but I think it's a case of, if you want to do something like this, look at the various options and make the choice an informed choice, and do that little bit of research beforehand.
We are both passionate Disney fans. We love the Disney brand. We love going to the theme parks, going on the cruises and enjoying everything. And the reason why we still feel, for us, it is something we enjoy doing is because we do the research to make sure that we have the ability to sort of think about what we're doing and to make sure for us it makes the best decision. Anyway, lovelies, see more of our Disney driven life over on their Instagram at DisDreamGirls. If you want to get some bonus podcasts and chat and other things from us, you can go over to patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls. But until next week, it's a goodbye from me.
And bye from me.